Wait.
Welcome, everyone, to the Palm Valley Church podcast, where we invite God into everyday conversations. My name is Mark Grohaki, and today I'm excited because I've got Albert Alvarez here with me today. Albert, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing all right. It was a good morning. Kids are off to school. Today's picture day.
Picture day?
Yeah.
Is that like a big deal in your house? Like, do they get really excited for it, or is
my daughter?
Okay.
She gets very excited about it. She wants to get jewelry out, jewels, whatever she can get to just,
Yeah.
She's like, I want to be beautiful today, Dad. And I'm like, honey, you're beautiful every day.
Nice.
But what she means is she wants jewelry. She probably wants a tiara on. She told me white dress, so she wore a white dress today. She was kind of upset because we didn't let her leave in high heels because she does have PE today.
That's funny.
But she wanted some heels on. But
that's awesome. Now, does she ask for like makeup in that too, or she?
Yeah,
okay.
She does. And this past Christmas, her plan was to get my wife or her mom some makeup.
Okay.
But she knew she was going to try to get access to that makeup. So she's already tried to get some eyeshadow on and everything. So she wants to wear makeup and she wants to wear blush and when she does get a chance to wear some blush or something like that, she really comes over to me and just, hey, Daddy, look at me.
That's funny.
Do you notice anything different? So.
Now, what does your son do on picture day? Is he same thing, trying to get all kinds of crazy clothes on? Or?
A little bit.
Okay.
So the last year on picture day, he decided to wear a bandana. So I think I posted a picture on my social media, but yeah, he wore a full-on bandana like a cowboy or like a bandit. He was just there and with a serious face looking at the camera, and I'm like, all right, that's good. This year, he's thinking they're going to have a green screen.
Okay.
So they can change the backgrounds easier. And so he went with a neon green sweater
to blend in.
Because I think he's trying to get the background to be all over, and you just see his head. So,
I love that he's putting so much thought and energy into it. That's fantastic.
Yeah. He has a lot of fun and stuff, and the kids have been going to their school for since both of them since kindergarten when they started kindergarten. So they have a really good relationship, and the teachers are great, and staff are there. So
they're probably excited about everything they do for picture day, your two kids. So I love that. Well, Albert, I mean, you're a celebrity here at Palm Valley Church, and almost everybody knows you, but I would bet that not everybody knows Albert here at Palm Valley Church. So why don't you start off, how long have you been at Palm Valley Church?
So been here since 2010. So it's actually the first Christmas. I believe it was the first Christmas that Palm Valley Church was in this building on the Goodyear campus. Okay. And my wife and I walked in on a Saturday evening, and
did somebody invite you? Were you just driving by?
So actually, it was road signs.
Oh, really?
So when Palm Valley was at Desert Edge, I would drive by every weekend, and I see the banner outside, for Palm Valley Church, letting us know the services that were happening at Desert Edge, and so I was always seeing that, and then the car stickers. I was looking at car stickers. There was car stickers everywhere. I was in Phoenix. I would see car stickers. Yeah. Ahwatukee. That far, I would see car stickers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Palm Valley stickers.
Those are big invites, the car stickers.
And then once, I think we were going to Big Lots, and we saw this building. Yeah. And now it was Palm Valley Church. The sign was up and everything. And I remember driving. It was maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night. And it was kind of dark outside, and I'm looking through the windows into the kids' lobby, and I saw, just what the church was doing for kids. And I'm like, man, this church gives almost the whole side of a building just for the kids. I'm like, I have a little Albert at that time too, and I was just like, I think I need to check this out. We need to bring our family, I need to bring my family here. And So when we walked in on that Saturday night, greeted by greeters, being welcomed and stuff, and walked into the worship and went and enjoyed worship, and Yeah, it was really good. And I know I had some other friends that invited me to their churches, so I was going to go take a look and went there, and the following weekend to another church, and I just felt this tug like, nope.
This was the place for you.
You need to go back to Palm Valley. Yeah. So we told my friends, thank you for inviting us, but I think we're going back to Palm Valley. So, and ever since there, we've been
so that was 2010. Here we are today, 10 years later, and you're on staff.
Yeah.
So what happened? I mean, how did you come from a random person that walked through our doors to now being a pastor here on staff?
I jumped in when we were committed to coming to Palm Valley, and I jumped in and started. I wanted to volunteer.
Okay.
I wanted to serve. I wanted to see what I can do to help.
Yeah.
I was excited about being at Palm Valley Church. I was excited that it was a place that I can invite anybody. I don't have to preload anything. I can just say, come and see.
Nice.
And they can come and check it out, and they're going to feel welcome just like we were. So I wanted to be part of that. Yeah. So I found out that we had volunteer tours. Nice. I'm like, okay, I'd love to take that.
Yeah.
Took a volunteer tour. I went to locations that I had no idea even existed.
Nice.
Behind the scenes stuff. At that time we had a whole video room and just everything that's happening in there. But at the end of the tour, my tour guide, Denise, she asked me, so, where do you think God wants you? Where do you want to go? And she knew that when a lot of people take tours, they're like, well, where do you need me? I'll go there. But even in the tour, during the tour, she mentioned to us, like, we want you guys to listen to the Holy Spirit, where God wants you to be. And so I told her, hey, I want to do what you're doing. You're taking people to all these, to go see all these teams and all these opportunities that we have. And I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was a little surprised, and she's like, she smiled and she's like, all right, let's get you on. So I had to do, all the paperwork and everything necessary. And I got on that team, and I started serving, giving people tours of all our opportunities we have to serve here at the church.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for a couple of years. And then I was making some relationships because I do like to talk. So if you meet me on the weekend in the lobby, I do like to talk, and I'll talk for a little while. So I would also meet with other people that are volunteering in different rooms. Just like say there's a lull, there's no volunteer tours that day, I'd go and visit and talk to other leaders and stuff and learn more about their room. And one room that I was feeling this tug to, like, you should go try this, was in our K3 room in PVC Kids.
Yeah.
So I found out there was an audition coming up to be part of large groups. So that's like getting on stage and like doing skits and teaching and helping teach. And I'm like, I'd like to try that. So I remember.
I love how you just listened to God throughout this whole process, and you've just tried things.
Yeah.
You just stepped into it. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be being on stage, even though, it's being on stage, teaching a lesson, or just having fun. I was still nervous.
Yeah.
And I was nervous on the tryout. And I remember it was Amy St. Louis, Justin Lipinski, and Kevin. And they were there, and they gave me the script. They got on stage, and I just, I guess I did well enough that they're like, okay, we'll take them on.
Nice.
So I got to serve. I got to serve on large group. I think I got with Max and Becca, and so it was fun to be up there.
But you're just volunteering at this point. You still have a full-time career job outside of this.
Yep.
So what was kind of that turning point that all of a sudden brought you onto staff?
Buckeye campus.
Okay.
So we were hearing that us as volunteers that, Buckeye campus is coming. We're going to do this. And I remember they were looking for, especially in PVC Kids, they're like, okay, we need to assemble a team to go out and to the Buckeye campus and help launch that. So I was already I already knew. I'm like, okay, that's where we're going next. Yeah. And sure enough, they were some of the leaders were like, hey, Buckeye campus is coming. Are you interested? And I said, let me talk to my wife, but I think I am. And that evening I was talking to Yasmin, and I got a phone call from Pastor Ben. And Pastor Ben's like, hey, we'd love to take you out for dinner. And that was where that next step of Pastor Ben. So at that time, he was pastor of volunteers, and he was helping with the launch of the Buckeye campus. And he came to me and he's like, I would love for you to help and pour into the leaders that we're going to have out there with all our teams that we're going to have on our first impression. So from our, at that time we even started with a parking team to.
So it was overseeing or pouring into all those volunteers, not just in the PVC Kids area.
Right. Yeah. And he was just like, I'll be there with you. Like, we're going to do this. We'll get through this. And that was like the start of starting to come on board with Palm Valley Church. And so we launched Buckeye Campus and had so much fun doing that. I remember being at my job, my Monday through Friday job. I was working for the city of Phoenix. And at my lunchtime, I'd get my laptop. I'd run over to the subway downtown. And because it had internet. That one had a second floor, so I can get a whole room to myself almost. And I'd go up there, and boom, I started contacting our volunteers. Just doing a lot of the stuff that I really like doing. I love pouring into our teams and our volunteer our team members that we have. So I was doing that at work, and
it's led to today. So what's your role today?
I'm still here. I'm, caring for the church, encouraging our team members, encouraging our people that attend Palm Valley, and so my role right now is I'm one of the pastors here.
That's right. And it's kind of an awkward question considering you're on my team on this. Yes. So this is what I love. Yeah.
And I still get to pour into teams. So I have a lot of our first impression team. So I get to team up with our greeters, our section host, our info team, VIP hosts that help connect first time guests, help them out throughout the campus. Our check-in teams, even during the week, we reset the worship center for services this weekend. So today. There's a team coming in that helps reset the worship center, so I get to also serve alongside them and help them and encourage them. But I get to help people find their shape, find what God's called them to do, and encourage them to continue and move forward. Also, pastoral care is part of my role here. Is helping connect people, like if someone's in the hospital, if someone needs just some care, connecting them with a pastor or another leader for some next steps or some help.
You have such a great heart for people and wanting to help them as they grow in their relationship with God. You care about people so well. I love seeing you at work with that, and you care about them in their most difficult moments, but you also have done what I love about you being on staff is you care about them when things are going great, and you want them to continue to grow in their relationship with God. So you still to this day are helping people get connected in the place where they need to serve. You're helping people in their marriages, I know. You do such a beautiful job of that. That's why we are so blessed to have you and your entire family here on this staff. That's for sure. So,
and then I also had just great opportunities to see other people do that, so that I can learn from what they're doing and just.
Well, and it's your love for God in all of this. That's what I love. That just shines through in all of this. What has that journey been like for you? I mean, how did your faith start? What's your faith journey in getting to know who God is and starting that relationship with Him?
It started here in Arizona. So,
Okay.
I did grow up altar boy, went to Catholic school.
In California?
In California. So when I was growing up, my sophomore year in high school, when we're going through confirmation and just confirming your faith in the Catholic Church, I had some questions and stuff, and it didn't go so good, so well. Just so I kind of just pushed away from church, pushed away from just like, you know what? Yeah, that's not for me.
This organized religion thing doesn't work.
So I kind of pushed away, and then it wasn't until I met my now wife, Yasmin. So she was saved in high school. So she gave her life to Christ and just started living for Christ. And so she met me after, when she graduated, and she invited me a few times to church, and I went because I loved her and stuff, but I'm just like, nope, I'm that's not where I need to be. Yeah. So she's like, okay, she was patient, and we ended up getting married, in 2004. And after we got married, I started thinking, I'm like, something's missing. And so I'm asking again with Yasmin. She invited me again to the church that she would go to with her mom. And I was just like, no, I pushed away again. Yeah. She was patient again. Yeah. And some changes happened while I was working over there, and an opportunity came up to come to Arizona. So we moved out here. Okay. And God placed me working in a vault. Okay. And in that vault, a
bank vault?
Bank vault.
All right.
It was a cash room. And
I'm just imagining every bank heist movie right now. So
and that was kind of weird getting that job because before that, I was actually picking up and delivering money in Arizona for an armored car company.
Nice.
And I remember pulling up to that vault, and on top of all the money was an application with my name on it. Those guys only saw me maybe 10 minutes max every day. And I think I was only a month into this armored car job. Yeah. And I'm like, why is there an application with my name on it? And they're like, we want you to work for us.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, well, what's the pay?
Right.
It's more pay than I was getting for armored cars. So I'm like, all right, I'll talk to my boss. My boss at the armored car, he was just like, go for it, know? And they basically sold me the job. Like, you want to work here. So, with just getting more money, I'm like, okay, I'm there. Yeah. And I don't have to be around jumping in and out of an armored car. Right. So the person that really pushed for me to come to work in that room, he built this relationship with me. Oh, wow. And he invited me to his events, birthday parties and stuff that his family was doing. Yeah. He got to know me. And my questions that I had about God, about, life. And one day he asked that question, do you think you're going to go to heaven? And I just remember crossing my fingers and looking over at him. There's a pile of money right here that we're counting. I'm like, I hope I can. Yeah. And he's like, you don't have to hope anymore. Yeah. He went to the desk, pulled out the Bible, presented the gospel to me. Like, I've heard it before, but this time it was so different. It was just like, wow. That's like, it was huge. Alive. And I was like, I'm giving my life to Christ. I gave my life to Christ right there in that cash vault.
Over a stack of cash.
Yes. He called the boss. The boss came in, celebrated.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. I came home that day, excited, told Yasmin. She was excited. Yeah. My boss at that time was so excited. He even gave me a track, just read it over again. Just, right. Kind of like, make sure, you're ready for the step. And I gave my life to Christ there. My friend that led me to Christ, he connected me with his brother that lived in the West Valley, and that was my first connection with like a a family of believers that kind of just came around Yasmin and I and just walked us through, at that time, Yasmin was pregnant with Albert, with little Albert, and so they walked us through that. I got to see, I also got to see what I thought was a stereotype, because I remember the first argument they had. My mouth dropped. I'm like, what's going on? You guys are arguing? And they're like, yeah, we argue. I'm like, wait, I thought you were Christian. So that was funny.
Nice.
But yeah, that's where here in 2007, I gave my life to Christ in Phoenix in a vault.
In a vault.
And from then on, it just they connected me with another Bible study, and I got together with other believers there and grew with them.
Yeah.
And then 2010 is when God sent me to this Big Lots so I can look into this building. And
so about 3 years after your acceptance of Christ, you stepped into Palm Valley Church.
Yep.
Wow, that is fantastic. Wow. And you, what I love about this is you have your two children then were born to you guys, so in a Christian household now, that they've been able to be raised in that.
Right.
It's such a cool thing to see how your family has started and grown, and how God has worked through just those relationships that you've had in all of this. So
and I can show the kids like the hope that we have.
Yeah.
And I don't have to tell them like just to have hope and like I'll do the best. We got God.
Yeah.
And just be able to have that to share with my kids and stuff, and when they're worried or just sharing them just the love that God has for you. And so it's just really neat to be able to do that and know that and just even like worry, because I remember trying to control everything. I remember trying to control just my life, like just really trying to control like the outcome of things and stuff. And then, or even people's safety and stuff. And just, but I got to a point where God's showing me like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry. Do what I've asked you. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
So, I remember I was going to a retreat, and my biggest worry was my cell phone wouldn't work, and just in case my wife calls me while she's pregnant with Albert.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back down the mountain and just getting this piece of like, after I talked to Yasmin and hung up the phone, everything was fine. And it was just like a confirmation from God, like, I told you.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So
your life story is this amazing story of relationships. I love every part of this, to be able to just see how impactful your relationship with your wife was, to kind of start planting those seeds of who God is, of these relationships of coworkers that have walked you through this. And then your relationships with people here at Palm Valley Church, whether it's Pastor Ben or other people at the Buckeye campus, and that started to build those relationships with you, that has led into your full-time career now as a pastor and all this. And all of it has been relationships.
Yeah, and it, God working in that, because I saw, like, after I gave my life to Christ, there was people at my workplace that he'd connect me with.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, we're having a Bible study in the city building in, one of the, rooms over there, or we're leading groups. We got, he placed me where we were able to pray with, council members, the mayor, like, just, they'd call on a group of us to come in and just help walk them through different things that they wanted to talk to. And I was just like, my goodness, like,
right.
Within a year, like, I'm sitting in the mayor's office and he's telling me what's going on, and like, this is what I need prayer in. And I'm like, okay. And it's just me and another guy.
I just started praying a year ago. Yeah. I love that.
It was just neat. Just all these different relationships that God's put me around. And just that confirmation is like, I have the church around you. If you need help, reach out. There's other brothers and sisters that are there for you.
Yeah.
And that was huge. And another confirmation of that relationship was when going on mission trips, and we go to Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
And there, where no matter what happens, there's brothers and sisters there. No matter, there's people there that I can go to for help, for if I'm going through something. Wherever God places me in this world, the church is going to be there. Yeah. So I just need to take that step.
And you've modeled that so well by being that person for so many others. So that's what I love about who you and Yasmin, just your entire family, you have modeled that so well as a family. And so there are so many other people who have stories in their life of, man, I was struggling, but I reached out to Albert and Yasmin, and they were there for us. So thank you for being amazing at that and leading the charge in what a godly relationship looks like. So
thank you. And, just having my wife be so patient in the beginning.
Yeah, that's without a doubt.
I tell people, I'm that example of the spouse that just keeps pushing back.
Yeah.
But God's working in me and got me to a point where I was going to listen and that huge building that relationship with me, that friend of mine, that really made me just stop and listen, because now he's been pouring into me.
Yeah.
He's been inviting me to stuff. He's been sticking his neck out for me too. And it made me stop and actually just listen. What does he really have to say? And instead of just that complete, leave me alone, I'm good.
Exactly.
My life is good, leave me alone.
So. Well, Albert, thank you so much for sharing part of your story with us today. I know you have plenty of other great parts of your story, that's for
hours,
sure. So. But thanks for sharing that with us today. I know everyone I am, and I know everyone else is very encouraged by just kind of hearing a bit of your life story and what God has done. So thanks for doing what you do. And man, thanks for being a part of our team too.
Thank you.
You're awesome. So, and thanks everyone else for joining us. Make sure you continue to connect with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or the rest of our social media outlets. And we look forward to seeing you on the weekend or joining us online as well. So have a great week, everyone.